Alright, so if we look at our practice test, number 1 says use the law of sines to solve the triangle. We're given b equals 10 degrees, c equals 20 degrees, and then little c equals 33. So if I draw out my triangle, that b is 10 degrees, c is 20 degrees, and little c is 33. Okay, so then if I want to find angle A plus 10 plus 20 has to add up to 180, because we know that all of our triangles have to add up to 180. And 10 plus 20 is 30, so A plus 30 equals 180, which means A equals 150 degrees. Okay, pretty straightforward. Then if I want to find side A, I'm going to use my law of sines. So sine of 150 over A equals sine of 20 over 33. Use your angle C and side C because those are the two that you know. Cross multiply, 33 sine of 150 equals A sine of 20 divide by sine of 20. Then plug it into your calculator, and what do you get? Okay, 48.243. Alright, so the last thing I need to find is little side b. So I'm going to use the same law of sines for that. So sine of my angle b is 10, so 10 over little b equals sine of 20 over 33. When you cross multiply, you get 33 sine of 10 equals b sine of 20. Divide by sine 20. So what does b equal? Yeah, use C for it, because that's what you know. You know angle C and you know side C. You could use A for it, if you wanted to. Yep, 16.755. Alright, so any questions on number 1A? Alright, if I look at 1B, I'm given B equals 150 degrees, little b equals 30, little c equals 10. If you draw out your triangle, you should get a triangle that looks like that. And so the only thing I can do is I know I need to use b's because I have both of those to find my angle C. So sine of angle C over side C, which is 10, equals sine of 150 over 30. If you cross multiply, you get 30 sine of C equals 10 sine of 150. Divide by 30. And what is 10 sine of 150 divided by 30 equal? 0.167. So then if you take your inverse sine of each side, then your sines cancel. And what's the inverse sine of 0.167? 9.594. So C equals 9.594. You might have just rounded differently here. It's close enough. Alright, so we know angle C and we know angle B. So we know that A plus my B, which was 150, plus my C, which is 9.594, has to equal 180. Your angles always have to add up to 180. So then A plus 159.594 equals 180. So then A equals 20.406 degrees. Alright, so the last thing then that I have to find is my side A. So sine of 20.406 over A equals sine of 150, right, over 30. Cross multiply, I get 30 sine of 20.406 equals A sine of 150 divided by sine of 150. And what does A equal? Yeah, 20.920. Alright, so any questions on part B of law of sines? Alright, 2A is law of cosines. So it says use the law of cosines to solve the triangle. So A equals 6, B equals 9, C equals 14. So I can start by finding cosine of any angle. So I'll start with cosine of A. Your cosine, your law of cosines formula tells you to add your opposite sides, so C and B, and square them. So 9 squared plus 14 squared minus A squared, which is 6 squared, all over 2 times B times C. That's your law of sines. Okay. Alright, so if you plug that into your calculator, what are you going to get for cosine of A to equal? 0.956. So then you take the inverse cosine to figure out your angle. And what's the inverse cosine then of 0.956? 991 degrees. Alright, so any questions on finding A? We do the same thing for B. So cosine of B equals A squared plus C squared minus B squared all over 2 times A times C. Alright, so plugging that in your calculator, you get cosine of B equals 0.899. Now if you take your inverse cosine of that, what does B equal? $25.973. Sometimes your calculator will round differently and you'll get 25.998. But it doesn't really matter. It's very small differences. Alright, and then if we want to find angle C, we know C plus A, which is 16.991, plus B, which is 25.973, has to equal 180. And we all can add and subtract, so C equals 137.011, approximately. Did you get something close to that? Usually might be. Yeah, it's close enough. Alright, so any questions on first law of cosines? Okay. 2b then asks us to use this. B equals 150, A equals 10, C equals 20. Alright, so I'm going to find side B first. So cosine of 150 equals A squared, which is 10, plus C squared, which is 20, minus B squared all over 2 times A times C. Alright, well, 10 squared plus 20 squared is 500, minus B squared all over 400. 2 times 10 times 20 is 400. Okay, so if I multiply by 400, those cancel and I get 500 minus B squared equals 400 cosine of 150. Let's subtract 500. 400 cosine of 150 minus 500 equals negative B squared. Divided by negative 1, negative 1, negative 400 cosine of 150 plus 500 equals B squared. Okay, then you take the square root to get rid of the square. And you plug that in your calculator, square root of negative 400 cosine of 150 plus 500. You get B equals 22.438. So if I want to find cosine of A, then I can use all of my sides to find that. So cosine of A is B squared, which we just figured out is 22.438 squared, plus C squared, which is 20 squared, minus A squared, which is 10 squared, all divided by 2 times B, which is 22.438, times C, which is 20. Okay, if you put all this in your calculator and simplify, you get cosine of A equals 0.895. And then take the inverse cosine, so those cancel. That's the inverse cosine of 0.895. $26.492. Okay, so A equals 26.492. And we know A then, we know B then, so we know C plus 26.492 plus 150 has to equal 180, because all angles of a triangle add up to 180. 26 plus 150 is 176.492. Which means C equals 3.538 degrees. Alright, so those are number 7 were probably the hardest questions on your practice test, because then you get into vectors. So on number 3, it says find the component form of the vector satisfying the conditions with an initial point of 1,5, terminal point of 15,9. And you just separate. So Q1, P2, Q1, Q2, and you subtract. So it's always Q1 minus P1, Q2 minus P2. Q1 is 15, P1 is 1, Q2 is 9, P2 is 5. 15 minus 1 is 14, 9 minus 5 is 4. Alright, so any questions on number 3? Pretty straightforward. Alright, number 4 gives us the vectors u equals 4, 5, v equals 0, negative 1, and we're asked to find various things. So the first thing we're asked to find is u plus v. Well, u plus v means u1 plus v1, u2 plus v2. So if I label my vectors u1, u2, v1, v2, then I just add them. So it makes u1 4, v1 0, u2 5, v2 negative 1. 4 plus 0 is 4, 5 plus negative 1 is also 4. It's your mom. Why don't you tell me what she had to say? Alright, U minus V, U1 minus V1, U2 minus V2. So my U1 is 4, my V1 is 0, my U2 is 5, my V1 is negative 1. Is that what she's asking? Okay, 4 minus 0 is 4, minus a negative becomes a positive, 5 plus 1 is 6. Alright, so U minus V, pretty straightforward. For U just tells us we're taking U and we're multiplying it by 4, so U is 4, 5. And 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. Alright, and then the last one we're going to do is 3V plus 5U. So 3 times V, which V is 0, negative 1, plus 5 times U, and U is 4, 5. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. And then if we add 0 plus 20 is 20. Negative 3 plus 25 is 22. But you didn't turn in an assignment, so you lied. Well, you lied. Did he turn in an assignment? Yes. No. That's not the assignment she's referring to, and you know it. Okay, well, it's not done, so you lied to your mother. Oh, well, it's going to be, it comes back on you, not on me. Okay. Number 5 says find the magnitude and directed angle of the vector. We didn't worry about directed angle, so all you have to do is find the magnitude, so you can cross that off, the directed angle part off. So I'm going to rewrite this vector as negative 4, 7, because it's easier to visualize than with the i's and j's. And our magnitude formula equals the square root of v1 squared plus v2 squared. So v1 is negative 4, so negative 4 squared plus v2, which is 7 squared. Negative 4 squared is 16, 7 squared is 49, 16 plus 49 is 65. So magnitude is the square root of 65. Alright, for your dot product of u and v, the dot product is u1 v1 plus u2 v2. So this is u1 u2 v1 v2. So u1 is negative 7, v1 is negative 4, u2 is 12, v2 is negative 14. Negative 7 times negative 4 is positive 28. 12 times negative 14 is negative 168. And 28 plus negative 168 is negative 140. Alright, for 6b, we're given the vector u equals negative 7i plus 2j, which means negative 7, 2. And v equals 16i minus 12j, so 16 and negative 12.
We need the 7 and 8 to a 45 protein to go to the middle school office. 7 and 8 grade 45 protein, please go to the middle school office.
Alright, so u1 is negative 7, v1 is 16, u2 is 2, v2 is negative 12. Negative 7 plus 6, or times 16 is negative 112. 2 times negative 12 is negative 24. Negative 112 plus negative 24 is negative 136. Alright, so any questions on dot products? Pretty straightforward. Alright, so then 7 was finding the trig form of a complex number. So there's two things we had to know for finding the trig form of a complex number. The first is our r, which is the square root of a squared plus b squared. The second is our theta, which is tangent of theta equals b over a. Okay, so a is 5, b is negative 5. So r equals the square root of 5 squared plus negative 5 squared. 5 squared is 25. Negative 5 squared is 25. 25 plus 25 is 50. Okay. Then theta equals tangent of theta equals negative 5 over 5. Negative 5 divided by 5 is negative 1. So looking at your unit circle, tangent is equal to negative 1 at 3 pi over 4. So then if I put this all together, I know that I need r cosine of theta plus r sine of theta I to be my complex number. So r is the square root of 50. Theta is 3 pi over 4. R is the square root of 50. 3 pi over 4 I. And then on our last one, negative 3 root 3 plus 3i. Sorry, did you have that here? I can go back. Okay. I know that r equals the square root of a squared. So negative 3 root 3 squared plus b squared. So 3 squared. Negative 3 root 3 is 27. 3 squared is 9. 9 plus 27 is 36. Square root of 36 is 6. And then to find my theta, tangent of theta equals b, which is 3, divided by negative 3, square root of 3, which simplifies to negative 1 over square root of 3. So where does tangent equal negative 1 square root of 3? 5 pi over 3. It also equals it at 2 pi over 3, so either one would work. So then r cosine of theta plus r sine of theta I. Well, r is 6, so 6 cosine of 5 pi over 3 plus 6 sine of 5 pi over 3 I. Alright, so any questions on your test? Okay.